Coming up on today's show, we have the news you've been waiting for, the latest injury update on Abraham Lucas. Will he or won't he play Week 1 against the Denver Broncos? We'll tell you what's going on with Abe in just a matter of moments, and also what could potentially be in store for George Fant. All of that and more coming up on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us all week long as the Seahawks gear up to take on the Cleveland Browns in the preseason finale. We are doing a sub-battle with our Browns channel. We're trying to see who can gain the most subscribers between now and kickoff. We don't want to just beat the Browns on the field, but we want to beat them off the football field as well. And you can see we picked up a lot of subs already this week. We got a bit of a lead so far. Let's run up the score a bit and win this sub battle and show Matthew Peterson, the host of the Browns Report, who's boss, for the latest happenings on your Seattle Seahawks each and every day here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Mike Macdonald spoke to the media yesterday and gave an update on Abraham Lucas and remained pretty coy about the situation, which I'll be honest, covering Mike Macdonald since he came to Seattle, one of the things that he promised was transparency, and he's been pretty upfront about most things throughout the offseason. But when it came to Abraham Lucas here, he didn't really say a whole lot, but that's where we come in to kind of read between the lines and tell you what else is going on here. The big question everybody's asking, will he play Week 1 against the Denver Broncos? Remember, the hope and the expectation was that after having offseason surgery, that he would return in time for training camp. He's been at training camp, but has not been practicing. He's been doing workouts on his own when it comes to lifting and cardio and all that, but nothing on the field at this point. So where do things stand with just a few weeks to go till the start of the regular season? Macdonald had this to say when asked if Lucas will play Week 1. He said, right now, probably don't want to answer that question. Fair enough. NFL teams are not required to report individual player injuries at this point in time. That will obviously change when the season goes along and they send out their injury reports during the week and on game days and all that. So he doesn't have to tell us anything, but we would like to know what's going on. But as we told you, reading between the lines here, the way things have gone in these practices and what we saw in the preseason so far, the Seahawks are preparing accordingly for George Fant to be the day one starter for the Seahawks at this position. That seems to be where momentum is headed right now. In the latest update that we got yesterday from Seattle Bob telling us this, it's worth noting Stone Forsythe got some work today at right tackle with the second offense behind George Fant. Could be getting Forsythe ready to back up on either side as needed. Laken Tomlinson took all the reps with the starters at left guard today. Bradford and Haynes played right guard. This is exactly what we all feared, folks, that this was a chronic issue with Abraham Lucas, that it wasn't just simply going to go away, that this thing's taking time. And, you know, Mike Macdonald, as he's talked about this injury with Abraham Lucas throughout the offseason, he said, hey, we have a plan. We can't wait to get him back and all this. And here we are, and it seems unlikely based on what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what we're being told and not told, that it doesn't look good for Abraham Lucas to make that return in time for the start of the season at this point. What do you guys think? Your chance to make the call based on what you've heard and how things are going. Do you think Abe's going to be back Week 1? Seems unlikely right now. Weigh in. Tell us what you think. Y for yes, in for no, if Abraham Lucas will play Week 1 or not. Lucas had surgery back in January as he missed most of the 2023 campaign, and he posted this on his Instagram page the day the surgery went down. And the progress, as we've mentioned, we haven't gotten a ton of updates, but he is deadlifting. He is in the weight room without a knee brace. So that is a significant thing. That's a step in the right direction. But, again, he still hasn't put on pads and done all of that just yet. So let's break down this situation and tell you about what's gone on here with Abraham Lucas. The Seahawks knew what they signed up for with Abraham Lucas when it came to this knee situation, as his knee injury history actually began when he was at Washington State. It's a big reason why he was available when the Seahawks picked him in the 3rd round at his position. He aggravated that knee in week 1. It wasn't a problem in 2022 as he started every single game that season. Did not return until week 13, and he looked like a shade of his former self when he did eventually make his return this past season. If you recall, Pete Carroll, the former Seahawks head coach, he called the knee issues chronic last season, which certainly raised a few eyebrows and was a big red flag for those looking at this situation. And this was the second knee surgery that he's had in his career, was that knee surgery that took place back in January. And since then, he's been a non-participant in team drills since the recovery from this injury at this point in time. So all in all, it's not looking good when it comes to Abraham Lucas right now. What's your concern level for Abraham Lucas? And I'll say this. I got more to tell you here in just a bit. But my concern level is extremely high, not just about this season, but beyond this season, if this is going to be a lingering issue. My concern level is at a 9 at the moment, and I'm not trying to over-exaggerate here. Just being honest with you folks, I am very concerned about the health and well-being of Abraham Lucas and how much of an impact he has on this football team. The Seahawks, though, they have a plan. We'll tell you more about the plan here in just a bit. But first, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for last-minute tickets. The best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets easy to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the stuff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching for thousands of tickets. They have what they call a super deal, and it basically sorts out your tickets in tiers, and it makes the user experience so easy to find those tickets, folks. Here's how it works. Maybe you want to go to the Seahawks preseason game coming up this weekend against the Browns. You choose the event you want to go to. Then you choose your seat. See if you like that seat or not. Get the visual. And then you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. And get this, folks. If you use the promo code ChatSports at checkout on your first purchase, you will get $20 off there with Game Time, folks. You can customize your spot with your seat as well. Make sure you get the right seat for you, folks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. So for the Seahawks, this is why they brought back George Fant to Seattle, was because we didn't know what the status was of Abraham Lucas and when he would make this return. That they have an insurance policy with George Fant here. You take a look at the O-line depth chart right now, and you can see Abraham Lucas, your starting right tackle, there with Charles Cross at left tackle, Laken Tomlinson at left guard, Connor Williams at center, Anthony Bradford at right guard. At those spots there, Bradford seems to have the edge on Haynes for that starting right guard spot right now. And George Fant is a good option. He is your backup swing tackle if let's say that Lucas isn't fully healthy. If we get to a point where if something happens, maybe he returns and something happens with Charles Cross, that goes that way. With Fant, though, the good news for Seattle is he's more than capable. He's got plenty of experience, 99 career games played with 73 starts. This is his second stint with the Seahawks. You recall he was here from 2016 to 2019, joined the Jets in 2020, then was most recently with the Houston Texans. So this is a guy that has been there, done that before, and it's a good plan for the Seahawks, at least in the short term, right? You look at his grades last year and they were solid. 915 snaps, overall grade of 63.5, pass block grade of 69.4, run block grade of 53.8, allowed just 3 sacks. So for George Fant, for what you're looking for a backup to fill in that role, that's realistically about as good as you can ask for to fill in that spot. Now, big picture, all right, beyond just this year, if Abraham Lucas can't get healthy and play at a high level this season, then the reality is, the tough pill to swallow if you're the Seattle Seahawks is you're going to have to replace Abraham Lucas next offseason. George Fant is fine for now for the short term, but for the long term, the Seahawks are going to have to look for other options here. So let's ask you, when it comes to George Fant, are you feeling pretty confident? Can he get the job done for the Seahawks right now if Abraham Lucas can't give it a go? Weigh in, let us know. Type B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in the comment section, let us know what you think. For daily Seattle Seahawks news and rumors, our live shows, watch parties, Q&A, mailbags, and more, you got to be subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. We have a big week ahead, folks. We're going to be live coming up on Wednesday afternoon, so you won't want to miss out on that. In addition to our watch party that we're going to be doing here on Saturday. Colin's going to be here in the house with me. It is going to be a great time. Big week ahead as we catch you down to kickoff on your Seattle Seahawks headquarters right here on Seattle Seahawks Today. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV to subscribe now. We'll see you next time.